welcome to Math Class with me, Ms. Exebia. And today you're going to learn about conversion of units in metric system. When we talk about measurement, the coverage of this video includes length, capacity, and mass. Let's discuss them one by one. When we talk about length, it usually answers the question how long or how wide something is. So for example, you are getting the distance from one point to another. So that is what we talk about length. So if you're getting the height of a person, distance from one place to another, or how thick an object is, we are measuring length. And the standard unit for measuring length in the metric system is what we call the meter. And we have several instruments just like ruler, tape measures, and meter stick that we use in measuring length. Now, when we talk about mass, it answers the question how heavy or light something is. Or if you're getting the weight of a person or weight of meat or some things, that is usually measured by mass. And the standard unit of measurement that we use is gram. So when we talk about mass, it's the quantity of matter in a certain object. And we also have different weighing scales that we use in measuring the mass. So for example, if you want to get the weight of a person, we use this one. Or if you are going to get the weight of certain goods, we also use this one. And usually when we do experiments, we also use this kind of weighing scale. Now, when we talk about capacity, it tells us how much a container can hold. So if we're getting the amount of liquid in a container or amount of medicine in a spoon, so we are talking about capacity. And the standard unit that we use is liter. So again, when we talk about capacity, it's the content in terms of specific unit. So in this case, a container. And there are several instruments also that we use in measuring capacity. So we use these things, graduated cylinder and measuring cups to be able to measure capacity. Now, as I mentioned, meter, liter, and gram are the standard unit of measurement when we talk about getting the length, the mass, and the capacity. So these are what we call the basic unit. Now, if you're aware, there are certain prefixes that we add to the base unit. So for example, kilo, it will become kilometer, kiloliter, and kilogram. Aside from kilo, we also have hecto. So we have hectometer, hectoliter, and hectogram. We also have the deca. So we will have decameter, decaliter, decagram. And then after that, we will have the base unit, which is the meter, liter, and gram. And we also have deci, decimeter, deciliter, decigram. We also have centimeter, centiliter, and centigram. And the last one that I will include here is the millimeter, milliliter, and milligram. There are also other prefixes that we can use just like nano and other, but I did not include it here in this video already. So we are just going to discuss from kilo up to milli. So the symbol that we use for kilo is K, for hecto is H, for deca is DA, for deci is D, for centi is C, and for M is for milli. Now, for example, I would like to write centimeter using the abbreviation. So I will just use C for the centi and M for the meter. So that would be the centimeter. While for milligram, so I will use M for the milli and then G for the gram. So we have mg. It's supposed to be mg. And for the kilogram, we have kg. So that's how we use the different prefixes. Now, for us to be able to remember the order of the prefixes, because these prefixes are arranged from the larger unit to the smaller unit. So we have mnemonics that you can use. We can remember kings have diamonds, but diamonds cost much. So if you want to remember the order, you can remember this mnemonic. Kings have diamonds, but diamonds cost much. So kings is for kilo, have is for H, diamonds is for deca, but is for the base unit, another diamond is for deci, cost is for centi, and much is for milli. So remember that, because this prefixes will be very useful when we already start conversion of metric units. So for example, you are asked to convert 5 kilometers to meters. So how are we going to do that? So this prefixes here, which is arranged already from highest to the lowest unit, will help us to convert metric units easily. So what's the technique? So you have to identify the units that you will convert. So in this case, we are converting kilometers to meters. So identify that. Kilo from the kilometer and meters. This is the basic unit. So from here, we're going to convert it here. Now, you have to count the number of units in between them and take note of the direction. So we have to count the number of units in between kilo and meter. So 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 units, and the direction is it's going to the right. Now you have to take note, 3 units to the right. Now, based from that, you can now move the decimal point according to the number of units and direction on step 2. And you can affix 0 if needed. So for example, what do I mean by that? So I have 5 kilometers. So I need to put there a decimal point. So it would be after 5 because 5 is a whole number. Now, since I moved 3 units to the right, I will also move this decimal point 3 units to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. So it will be placed here. The decimal point will be there. Now, the spaces here, since we don't have any number there, we will just affix zeros. So it means that the conversion would be 5 kilometers is equal to 5,000 meters. So as simple as that. So another example, 7.5 liters to centiliters. So identify again the units. It's from liters. So from here, going to centiliters. So you have identified that already. And then count the number of units in between them. 1, 2. So you move 2 decimal places to the right. So there are 2 units to the right. In that case, we will move the decimal point here. So we have 7.5. We will move 2 units to the right. We will move the decimal point 2 units to the right. So the decimal point will be moved there already. And we have a blank space here. So we affix the 0. So therefore, 7.5 liters is equal to 750 centiliters. So let's have one more example for the conversion from higher unit to lower unit. So for example, here I have 0.1256 decagrams. And I will convert that to milligrams. So from deca, I will convert it to milli. So let's count the number of units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to move 4 units to the right. So 4 units to the right. How many places do we need to move the decimal point here in our given? So we have 0.1256 and we have to move 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your decimal point will be placed there, and therefore your answer is 1,256 milligrams. So that's how we convert from higher unit to the lower unit. Now, what if it's the other way around? We're going to convert from the lower unit going to the higher unit. So for example, here, 5 milliliters to how many meters? So identify again. From milli, you are going now to meters. So just like last time, count the number of the units in between. So 1, 2, 3. But take note, you are moving already to the left. So you move 3 units to the left. So from here, you write 5, and then there's a decimal point. You have to move 3 units, 3 decimal places to the left this time. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then we place the decimal point there, and we include zeros in the blank parts. So here you will have 0.005 meters if you convert 5 millimeters to meters. So that's how you do it. So let's have 2 more examples. Let's convert 457 deciliters to decaliters. So from deci, we are moving to deca. And there are how many units? 1, 2. We have 2 units going to the left. So 2 units to the left. So by doing that, the 457, we place the decimal point at the end. We have to move 2 units to the left. So 1, 2. So your decimal point will be placed there. Therefore, the answer is 4.57 decaliters. So that's how we do the conversion. And last example, we convert 12.5 milligrams to centigrams. So from milli, we're going to go to centi. So how many decimal places or how many units? There's only 1. We just have to move 1 unit to the left. So you have to move the 12.5. You have to move 1 unit to the left as well. So the answer will be 1.25 centigrams. So again, that's how you convert metric units. Take note, you just have to count the number of units in between them and take note of the direction. Make sure that you know if you're going to move to the left or if you are going to move to the right. So I hope you have learned something new today.